Welcome to Sajine Clarity Podcast, a space to explore your clarity journey from survival to authenticity. I'm Sajine, and here we dive into the raw truth of breaking free from the expectations we've grown up with, rediscovering our voices, and thriving after life's challenges. But this isn't just about my story. It's about life, from relationships and self-discovery to the messy, beautiful questions we all face. No topic is off limits here. So if you're ready to embrace courage, healing, and living life on your own terms, you're in the right place. Let's connect. Let's grow. Welcome to the journey. Now, before we get started, a quick disclaimer. This podcast is for informational and inspirational purposes only. I'm not a licensed therapist, counselor, or medical professional, and the content shared here is based on personal experiences and insights. If you're facing significant challenges, please seek the support of a qualified professional. Remember, your journey is unique, and you deserve the care and guidance that is right for you. Okay, I'm excited. Today's podcast title is Shame Was Never Your Identity, the hidden force behind anxiety, cortisol, and the life you were meant to live. What if the anxiety you've carried for years isn't because you're broken, but because you were taught to carry shame that was never yours? In today's episode, we're diving into one of the most overlooked roots of emotional suffering, shame. Shame doesn't just affect our thoughts. It impacts our nervous system, our hormones, our relationships, our confidence, and even our ability to enjoy life. Whether shame came from childhood, a relationship, work, religion, or society, it often teaches us that we're only worthy when we're perfect, quiet, productive, or pleasing everyone else. Today, we're breaking that cycle. This conversation isn't about blaming the past. It's about reclaiming your future. Whether you're a Christian or not, you're welcome here. My hope is simple, that every person listening walks away believing they deserve a life built on peace instead of shame. Let's begin. Part 1. What shame really is. One of the biggest misunderstandings is confusing guilt with shame. Guilt says, I made a mistake. Shame says, I am the mistake. One helps us grow, the other convinces us we're beyond growth. That's why shame is so destructive. It doesn't motivate us, it freezes us, it disconnects us from ourselves. Instead of asking, what can I learn? We ask, what's wrong with me? That question changes everything. I think many times, that's something that I learned is that for the longest time, people made me think, what's wrong with me? Because that's all that I ever got told. Anytime I didn't get something, whether it was a job, cheerleading, some type of role in acting, or friendships, or even boyfriends, I always thought, what's wrong with me? And it's the way that people make you feel. Instead of saying, oh, well, that's okay, that's not your area, or learning from things, you're told, oh, it's because of this. And then you start thinking, well, what's wrong with me? Part 2. How shame is learned. No child is born believing they're unworthy. Have you noticed that? Every child thinks they're the best. Why? Because their parents love them. They know full well that they're the best, right? Children are naturally curious, joyful, creative, fearless. Then something changes. Maybe they were criticized, ignored, compared, embarrassed, yelled at, told to stop crying, told they were lazy, too sensitive, too emotional, too loud, too quiet, too much, never enough. The nervous system remembers those moments long after the words are forgotten. I think the moment I felt that was, 4 or 5 years age. Yeah, I can remember from the way back when. And I saw that I wasn't that person that people wanted. The only time they were happy is if I was producing everything right. If I was a straight A student, if I was a good teacher's pet, if I was somebody who didn't challenge anybody, then I was perfect. And I learned that if that was the case, then I'd be safe. But then I totally put myself on the back burner. Part 3. Shame becomes control. One realization I've had is this. Shame is one of the oldest forms of control. When people shame us, they often don't need force because we begin policing ourselves. It's almost like a computer virus, right? Once they've left it in there, it's there to grow rampant and it starts shutting down everything. We stop speaking, stop dreaming, stop asking questions, stop setting boundaries, stop trusting ourselves. Eventually, we don't need someone standing over us anymore. We carry that voice inside, and that's heartbreaking because that voice isn't ours. One good part on that one is work, if you've noticed. Yes, you will learn the steps. Yes, you can say nobody does this, but it does. They do it so well, they don't even have to be near you anymore. They have, connected both saying that you are awesome, but at the same time, they've mixed it in with fears of if you don't do this, then you won't have a job anymore. And if you don't have a job, then how are you supposed to have a life, right? It's hard. Part 4, shame and anxiety. Think about how much energy shame requires. You're constantly scanning. What if I say something wrong? What if people judge me? What if I disappoint someone? What if they reject me? Your nervous system never gets a break. That's exhausting. Anxiety often isn't simply fear of the future. It's the body remembering that being wrong once felt unsafe. There's times when I've spoken to people and I felt horrified because I was like, oh man, how about if I gave too much information? How about if I didn't get enough information? How about if they think I'm weird? How about if they think I'm boring? And it's just what ifs, right? If I'm at work, what if I didn't do enough work? Now they're disappointed in me. What if I wasn't enough for my spouse? Now they're disappointed in me. Or what if now my spouse doesn't want me? Now I'm being rejected. My job doesn't want me. My friends or anybody, rejection, right? And our nervous system just sometimes goes out of control. And here comes anxiety. Part 5. Shame and cortisol. When we're constantly worried about being judged, our stress response can stay activated for long periods. Over time, chronic stress can contribute to elevated cortisol, disrupted sleep, fatigue, changes in appetite, and difficulty concentrating. Shame itself isn't the sole cause of hormone changes, but living in a prolonged state of stress can have real effects on both mind and body. Healing shame isn't only emotional, it's psychological. That body finally learns, I'm safe now. The cortisol part is very interesting. I was reading an article where it said it takes 8 hours for the cortisol to leave your body once you've had a situation where your cortisol has been elevated. And I'm thinking, wow. And can you imagine if you're in constant stress all the time, how long that cortisol is going to take for it to leave your body? It's just way too much. So I'm here to say we got to learn to get out of that shame because Cortisol is good for when it needs to be there, but prolonged ones because of somebody who is cruel and we have absorbed that shame is not okay. It just isn't. Part 6. Shame everywhere. I realized something. I was shamed as a child. Shamed in relationships, shamed at work, shamed in church. Different people, different places, same message. You aren't enough. That made me ask, who benefits when people believe they're never enough? Certainly not the person living under that burden. Oh my goodness. And I thought about it and I said, well, the thing is, if we're not enough, then why do they have us there? Think about it. If we really didn't have any inherent value, why are we there or why won't they let us go? For the longest time in my relationship, I was like, well, if I have no inherent value, then why won't he let me go? It made no sense, And it was the same at church. Oh, well, why? Because you're giving money, giving your time, your free labor. That's why. And it's not okay. Because once you start thinking it, you're like, oh, okay. So they're still getting stuff from me. They've scared me. They've shamed me into submission. But yet I'm not enough. But reality is I am. So it's something that we have to keep learning. Part 7, choosing freedom. At some point, I decided I don't want shame making my decisions anymore. Not because I'm perfect, not because I will never mess up, but because mistakes are part of being a human. I'm done apologizing for existing. I'm done believing I have to earn rest. I'm done believing I need permission to enjoy life. That doesn't mean ignoring accountability. It means refusing to confuse accountability with self-condemnation. Part 8. Slow living without shame. Imagine waking up without needing to prove yourself. Imagine eating without guilt, resting without guilt, laughing without guilt, trying something new without worrying that everyone thinks. Imagine learning instead of condemning yourself. That's the life I want. A slower life. One built on curiosity instead of criticism, connection instead of perfection, growth instead of fear. And I believe that can be something you can have too. Part 9. Faith and grace. As a Christian, my faith reminds me that grace and condemnation are not the same thing. If you're a Christian, I hope these truths encourage you. If you're not, I'm still glad you're here. This space is for everyone. Every person deserves dignity. Every person deserves compassion. Every person deserves the opportunity to heal. So, to me, I think it's important to start healing. So, let's ask some questions here that I think are important. This is my invitation to you. What if shame isn't your personality? What if it isn't your identity? What if it's simply something you learned? And what is learned can be unlearned. Healing won't happen overnight, but every time you choose compassion over criticism, you're rewiring your life. So ask yourself, do I apologize constantly? Do I struggle accepting compliments? Do I believe rest has to be earned? Am I terrified of disappointing others? Do I feel guilty for saying no? Do I feel mistakes make me unworthy? Do I hide parts of myself to feel accepted? Do I feel responsible for everyone else's emotions? If you've answered yes to several of these, shame may still be influencing your life. So, practical ways to start healing. Notice your inner dialogue without immediately believing it. Separate I made a mistake from I am a mistake. Practice self-compassion the way you'd comfort a trusted friend. Spend time with people who respect your boundaries. Let yourself experience joy without feeling you have to earn it. Build daily moments of rest, movement, prayer, reflection, or quiet that help your nervous system feel safe. Celebrate progress instead of waiting for perfection. Welcome. Find a comfortable position. Allow your shoulders to soften. Take a slow breath in through your nose and gently breathe out. Again. Slow inhale. Slow exhale. With each breath, allow your body to become a little heavier, a little calmer. Imagine yourself walking through a beautiful field. The sun is warm, the breeze is gentle. There's nowhere you need to be. Nothing to prove, nothing to earn. As you continue walking, you notice a backpack you've carried your entire life. You open it. Inside are labels. Not enough. Too emotional. Too sensitive. Too difficult. Too broken. One by one, hold each label in your hands. Ask yourself, who gave me this? Was this ever truly mine? With kindness, place each label on the ground. Watch the wind gently carry them away. Feel your shoulders becoming lighter. Now place one hand over your heart and repeat slowly. I'm learning. I'm growing. I'm worthy of kindness. I don't need perfection to deserve peace. My mistakes teach me. They do not define me. I release shame. I welcome compassion. I choose curiosity over criticism. I choose rest over striving. I choose connection over fear. I allow my body to feel safe. I allow joy back into my life. Take another slow breath. Imagine God's love, or if faith isn't part of your life, imagine unconditional compassion surrounding you like warm sunlight. Nothing needs fixing in this moment. Simply breathe. Rest in the truth that you are more than the labels you've carried. Stay here for several quiet breaths. When you're ready, gently wiggle your fingers. Move your shoulders. Open your eyes. Carry this peace with you today. Get your pens and paper ready. Here are your 5 journal prompts. 1. When did I first begin believing I wasn't enough? 2. What messages about my worth do I still carry today? 3. What parts of my life are still being controlled by shame? 4. If shame wasn't making my decisions, what would I do differently? 5. What would living a slower, shame-free life look like to me? much for spending this time with me today. If this episode resonated with you, I hope you share it with someone who may need the reminder that they are not their shame. Healing doesn't happen in one day, but every compassionate choice you make is a step toward freedom. If you enjoyed this conversation, please follow the podcast. Leave a review and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. My goal is to create a community where we choose clarity over fear, healing over hiding, and slow living over constant striving. Until next time, be gentle with yourself. You don't have to carry shame to become the person you're meant to be. Until next time, thank you for being here with me on Satine Clarity.